Elly. Today I'm going to read you a story. Facing Fears. Are you ready? Yeah! Facing Fears. Chapter 1. What's the buzz? Bruno stood frozen in the playground. A bee buzzed around and around him. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Only Bruno's eyes moved, watching the bee. If there was one thing Bruno was afraid of, it was bees. Leon saw Bruno standing like a statue. He called to Miles. Leon and Miles knew about Bruno's fear. They watched Bruno and the bee. Beatrice and Brooke joined them. So did Heaney, Ruby, and Holly. What's everyone looking at? Asked Nelson, joining the crowd. Bruno has a bee buzzing around him, whispered Ruby. So? Snorted Nelson. It's just a bee. Bruno is afraid of bees, said Miles. Nelson laughed so hard it hurts his stomach. Shh, said Ruby. You make the bee angry. Nelson rolled his eyes. Ha! Ever notice how big Bruno is and how small that the bee is? No one was listening to Nelson. Everyone was staring at Bruno and the bee. The bee waved off like it was studying Bruno. It got so close that Bruno could see the hairs on its legs. The bee stopped right before Bruno's eyes. Bruno's eyes were wide with fear. His heart was racing. The bee landed on Bruno's nose. Bruno fainted. Chapter 2. Miss Fazio Rescues. When Bruno woke, the bee was gone. Instead, 11 heads were hovering above Bruno, trying to get a good look at him. One of the heads belonged to Miss Fazio. He's awake, she declared. Give him some room. Miss Fazio helped Bruno to his feet. Bruno felt his nose. It didn't sting me, he said, amazed. Maybe the bee was scared of you, said Holly. Nah, said Nelson. I bet it's gone back to tell the other bees at the hive now. Sweet you smell. Soon it will be back with its friends hunting for you. Bruno's legs went wobbly. That's enough, Nelson, said Miss Fazio. Bruno, you're fine. The bee is gone, and I'm sure it will not be back. There's no need to be afraid of bees. They're wonderful creatures. They sting, reminded Bruno. That one didn't, said Ruby. Not all bees sting, said Miss Fazio, and the bee will only sting you if it feels in danger. Perhaps you should learn more about bees, Bruno, and then you won't be afraid of them anymore. My dad says it's important to face fears, said Rahib. Very true, said Miss Fazio. He always says it before we visit Nana. Rahib continued. I'm not afraid of anything, boasted Nelson. Everyone is afraid of something, said Miss Fazio. Nelson folded his arms and and shook his head. Brooke was been afraid of the monkey bars since she fell off, giggled Beatrice. You said you won't tell, squealed Brooke, tears welling in her eyes. Afraid of the monkey bars? Said Miss Fazio. We can't have that to the monkey bars, everyone. The whole class followed Miss Fazio, except for Nelson. Chapter 3. Swing a Smile. Miss Fazio grabbed the first bar. Her arms wobbled. She grappled another bar. Her arms really wobble, and her legs dangle. It is certainly a challenge. She panted and then fell in a heap on the ground. Everyone laughed. Who wants to have a go? Said Miss Fazio. Come on, class. Come on, Brooke. A swarm of arms and legs wobbled around the bars. Everyone was swinging and swaying. Miss Fazio helped Brooke swing from one bar to the next. Teachers can't do it. You're doing it, cried Beatrice. Brooke smiled. Miss Fazio let go of her, and Brooke swung all by herself. Then she fell to the ground and laughed again. You don't look very afraid to me, smiled Miss Fazio. Suddenly, a great wail came from the sports storeroom. Miss Fazio and her class raced over. There was mad banging coming from inside the storeroom. Miss Fazio quickly opened the door, and out fell Nelson. He was panting and sweating and very glad to see everyone. Claustrophobia is a fear of small places, said Rahib. Yes, said Miss Fazio. Maybe we should find out more about fears. They really have to find it. Chapter 4. A Hairy Situation. Miss Fazio led the children back to their classroom. She tapped away on the computer for a while until she found what she was looking for. All of these very long, funny sounding words, said Miss Fazio, stand for all sorts of fears. Ellychophobia is a fear of washing. Bibliophile is a fear of books. Chotophobia is a fear of hair. Dendrophobia is a fear of trees. Why fear of trees? Goonophobia is a fear of knees. Henophobia is a fear of sleep. Ichthyophobia is a fear of fish. Lily&Elly is a fear of string. Miss Fazio was in the middle of a very funny story, and the man, after sitting down when she froze, her eyes grew wide. She gasped, her breathing became fast. Bruno knew the signs. What is it, miss? He asked. Spider! Spluttered Miss Fazio. Is a is a fear of spiders, said Ricky proudly. Miss Fazio nodded her pointed pointer, shaking arms at the wall. Just by the door, the whole class turned to look at a long-legged hairy spider. I don't like spiders, whispered Miss Fazio. You'll be fine, Miss Fazio, said Bruno helpfully. There's no need to be afraid of spiders. They're wonderful creatures. The teacher's scared of a spider. I'll get rid of you! Miss, said Nelson, jumping up. Stay, Nelson, said Miss Fazio, without taking her eyes off the beast on the wall. Miss Fazio grabbed the feather duster. She closed her eyes and swung it in the air on the direction of the spider. The spider remained safe and a long way from Miss Fazio. Way to go, Miss Fazio, said Miles, grinning. Face your fear. Miss Fazio put the feather duster down and grabbed the board wiper. She aimed it at the spider. Her hand was shaking badly. She threw the wipe hard just as the classroom door opened and walked Mr. Zapple, the principal, and the wiper hit him over right on the head. He snapped to the floor out cold. The whole class gasped, but no one louder than Miss Fazio. Oh dear, said Miss Fazio quietly. Now Miss Fazio had a new fear. How was she going to explain this to the principal when he woke up? Zappa Philippi is scared of having to explain things to Mr. Zapple that he may not understand. Funny face. Done.